Tuesdays is known as $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, where you can get the hottest handicappers' best bet or daily package for only $2.
Drew, you need a mic check. Well, while we're waiting for Drew to connect his mic, Steve, why don't you and I take it for now?
Yeah, Dave, that sounds good. We've done a few shows before, so we'll make that work.
Yeah.
Dave Cokin, what's going on, my man, in Vegas?
I'm going to be busy as a beaver this week because I got a lot of college football games. NHL's underway, and I have a play tonight. Obviously, the NFL as well. It's crazy out there, and I know you're even busier because you got the NBA getting underway tonight.
Yeah, we do. And we got a great promo this week. I think you all did it last week with hockey, if I'm not mistaken. Every NBA best bet this week is $9 at WagerTalk.com. And I am starting the party off tonight. I've got an NBA best bet. I just posted it a few minutes ago. And, as you know, early parts of the season, Dave, the lines are soft, whether it's college football, NHL, NBA. I mean, a lot of handicappers feel like it's tough, but the odds makers know it's tough. And I think there's some great value early in the season. We're coming out swinging tonight with a late night NBA best bet.
Good luck with that. Meanwhile, we got some pretty exciting baseball to talk about. And why don't we open it up with the matchup at Fenway Park between the Astros and Red Sox. Oh, no, you put Braves and Dodgers up? All right, we'll go Braves and Dodgers instead. Atlanta's up 2-0. I mean, they're in great shape. Dodgers have the pressure on, but they are the defending champions. And I got to think they're going to come out just blazing tonight. I know Charlie Morton's on the mound for Atlanta. Full respect to him. He's a great big game pitcher, but there's nothing wrong with Walker Buehler here. And I got to think getting back home is going to be a remedy for the Dodger ailments to some extent. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, obviously, whenever we say it's must-win situations, we're cautious because teams obviously aren't in must-win situations if they're good enough to win when they have to. But the Dodgers are good enough to win when they have to. They're one of the defending world champs. We saw them get it done those last couple games against the Giants when they had to. And I agree, Dave. And by the way, as Yogi Berra says, it's deja vu all over again. This series was 2-0 last year, don't forget.
Yep.
Those games were in Arlington, of course, neutral field. But the Braves came out and won games 1 and 2 last year in the NLCS. And then the Dodgers smoked them. I think it was, 15-3 in this game last year. And then, of course, the Braves came back and won game 4, 10-2. They had a 3-1 lead, and the Dodgers won 3 straight. So we know the Dodgers can get it done when they have to. This one seems like one of those situations where it's a must-win, but we have a Class A team. And Buehler, this was a guy, until Scherzer came over and stole the thunder, Buehler was a front runner for the Cy Young a few months ago. So he's had a good season. I kind of like the fact he's been a little off in recent months because I think that's a good value play now. You're right about Morton, big game pitcher, and obviously Fried and Morton's a nice, 4 or 5 out of 7 game scenario for the Braves. But yeah, it seems like me, the Dodgers the only way to play this one. It's a little pricey, $1.75, but probably for good reason.
That's the only thing that's holding me back from actually betting it because I do think the Dodgers are going to win this game tonight. But it is pricey at $1.75. But I can't really make a case for this being a great value spot in Atlanta. I just think that the chips it's just too big a game for the Dodgers. I mean, they can't fall down 3-0. As good as Scherzer's been, I think the Dodgers can still look at Buehler as their ace. And it's not like the Dodgers got blown out in these 2 games. I mean, they can look at these 2 games that they lost and say we should have had both of those. So to me, the only way to play is the Dodgers. I just didn't do it because of the price. Are you going to get involved in actually betting it?
I don't think I will. This is probably going to be the free play, actually, I use here on the show, the Dodgers. I think it's a good situational play, but as you and I know, we take long-term investment strategies, and it's just not in the price range I'd like to use in baseball. But with that said, the other thing I will say about baseball is if you pick the winner, the price doesn't matter. And I know that's not the way to look at it long-term, but, I don't see the Dodgers losing this game. And I do like the fact that it's very similar to last year's situation. They're down 0-2. They win. Not only did they win, but they win 15-3. They came back and won the last 3 last year when they were down 3-1. They did it against the Giants last week when they had to win. So this is a team that steps up in quote-unquote must-win situations. And like you said, I mean, the last two games really could have gone either way. This could easily be obviously LA up 2-0. And in fact, at worst, it probably should be 1-1. And of course, I say that because you look at that game back, game one, Dodgers have 10 hits. The Braves have 6. Now they did get out hit 10-4 in the last game. So I really think it should be a 1-1 series. I'll take the defending World Series champs here. It's a little pricey to be an official best bet, but I think it's worthy of a free play.
The other game is at Fenway Park, my old home, if you want to call it that. I've seen a lot of games there over the years. Not so many since I moved out here to Las Vegas, and that's a long time ago. But it's still home for me, and it's home for the Red Sox right now. They've got a ton of momentum as they take the field for tonight's game. They've won 2 straight. They're up 2-1. They haven't done much wrong in the postseason. Got the Yankees in the elimination game, lost game 1 to Tampa, and then just ran them out. And they lose game 1 in this series, and now have taken charge with 2 impressive victories. Nick Pivetta on the mound for Boston. Zach Greinke makes his return for the Astros, and I'll get started on this one. Look, Greinke's got a limited history at Fenway Park. He's only pitched like 4 games here in his career, but they've been ugly. He has not pitched well in this park, and he's been off for quite some time, and he's running into a Boston offense that is absolutely on fire right now. The Red Sox are killing the baseball offensively. Meanwhile, Nick Pivetta comes in much sharper postseason form. He's looked good, but I got to think that he's also going to run into a ball of fire tonight. Look, the Astros can still swing the bats, and they've put up some runs in this series as well. I made a pretty quick bet on this one, and it's a high total. The number's 10. But I actually did make the bet on this one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. The weather conditions are actually more favorable for this game than they were last night when you had a crosswind blowing from left to right. That didn't stop the runs from crossing home plate, and the Red Sox did hit the ball out of the park. So, if anything, the weather's a little more conducive to offense tonight. Looked at the home plate umpire, pretty neutral, nothing there. I don't think the Red Sox bats are cooling off, and I think the Houston bats are going to get rolling tonight. This could be a long, very high-scoring game to me, and even with the number 10, hey, if nothing else, the odds makers are telling you right there, they made the total high in this game, higher than it's been, for a reason. This is a game where we should see lots of offense. I bet the over.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I wouldn't play the under even with Drew Martin's money if he was on the show with us. But, this is a situation where it's over or pass for me, and last night was the over. I had a strong best bet at WagerTalk.com last night for my clients on the over 9. It actually closed, as you know, 9.5. 9, a very key number. The 10 here kept me off of as the best bet tonight, but I don't disagree. The over is the only way I would play it. And I like the fact it's 3 straight games here in Fenway. I don't see that hurting these 2 offenses that are red hot. I'm a big believer in offensive momentum in baseball. Why would either team cool off tonight? They're smacking the ball around. The Red Sox on a historic pace, as you know, Dave. What is it?
Yeah.
20 home runs now in their first 8 playoff games. They've had 3 grand slams, I believe. It's just insane what they're doing. And last night's game wasn't even close. I mean, it was 12-3. It was 14 runs, 15 runs, 14 runs. First game had 9. So maybe this 10 gets us tonight, but I don't think it does. I like the over here as well. And something I'll throw back to you. I mean, Houston getting down big last night. A lot of spot relievers and whatnot. And here, once again, no rest again tomorrow. These bullpens are going to get a little taxed if these games keep remaining as high scoring as they've been. And that obviously helps the over as well.
Well, and you got to think that Greinke is going to be limited as to how far he's going to be able to go tonight. I'd be surprised if he's out there for like 100 pitches or something like that. So if you're looking at maybe 60 to 75 pitches on Greinke, that gets the bullpen in fairly early. As for Pivetta, I think the Astros' game plan is going to be let's get him out of there as quickly as possible. So I think you're going to see some patience from the Houston hitters. If Pivetta is sharp, they might get 5 or 6 innings out of him. But I think the Houston goal is to run him out of there, get his pitch count up to 80 by the 4th inning, and hopefully get into the Boston bullpen. So I think the game plans are pretty clear for both teams tonight. Extended at bats, make the pitchers work very hard, and get them out of there so that the somewhat vulnerable bullpens for both teams get involved. And again, look, if you go back to the Red Sox World Series win under Cora previously, once they got rolling with the bats, you just couldn't cool them off. And right now, that lineup 1 through 9 is very dangerous. And the Astros lineup, well, we'll say 1 through 8 is very dangerous. Maldonado in the 9th spot, if he plays tonight, he's like having a pitcher out there. But that's still, these are 2 potent lineups. And I just can't make any case for not betting the over in this game. I want to bet the Red Sox. I think they've got all the momentum right now. What kept me off it is now they are the favorite in the game. And even at $1.20, $1.25, I think that line is about where it should be based on where these two teams are right now. So I didn't see any real value on the side. And I'm not really seeing value as much as I just like the matchup for the over as far as the game is concerned. So that's all I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the side once again, obviously Houston off back-to-back losses isn't a team you necessarily want to get in front of. I mean, it's a wounded animal right now, and it's an experienced animal. And also keep in mind they were plus 205 net runs this year. Red Sox plus 80, and I know that doesn't mean much here in the postseason, but it was a very good Houston team. Like we talked about, the Dodgers off back-to-back losses. Difference here though is you're getting plus money now with Houston versus minus 180, minus 175 with the Dodgers. So I agree. I'm staying off the side here as well. I think the over makes a lot of sense. And I'll ask you, Dave, you look at the first 5, it's 5.5. Full game is 10. I mean, I don't see any scenario where you would play the first 5 over. I think the full game over makes a lot more sense, especially with the bullpen coming into play.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I'm normally a first 5 guy, but
Right.
I really don't know what to expect from Greinke tonight. Listen, maybe he's sharp coming off the layoff. And as for Pivetta, the guy is in good form. I don't think he necessarily stays in good form tonight, but he's on a bit of a roll. And I'd rather get into the 2 bullpens. I've got a lot more faith that the 2 offenses can do some damage late against these 2 bullpens, which are not the best, and neither one of them is exactly rested right now. So I think the full game makes more sense than the first 5. That's my best bet for the show is Red Sox and Astros over 10 for the full game. A reminder that I've got 5 college football games up. I just posted a free play. I'll try and get a video done on that shortly, but the text for that free play is up, along with everything else, at my WagerTalk homepage, which is wt.buzz/DC. Steve, I know you already said you're in action tonight in the NBA. What else you got going, and what's your best bet as far as the show is concerned?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Dodgers. And by the way, I think the in-game opportunity on that over in the Red Sox game makes a lot of sense also. If those 2 starting pitchers do pitch decent, don't be afraid to take an adjusted price, especially if you get like 8.5 or less, like a key number under 9, for the end game. So Dave likes the over in the Red Sox game. I agree with that. I'm going to look at the early game at 5 Eastern here for the live viewers and those that are catching us on the replay this afternoon here on Wager Talk TV. And a game that was just a bit outside, as you know, I like to say, is the Dodgers here. Just a bit outside my price range, I guess you should say, at $1.75, $1.80. But hey, once again, you pick the straight-up winner in baseball, it doesn't matter, right? And I think the Dodgers win this game. They were down 0-2 last year. Same scenario to the Atlanta Braves. They came back. They won Game 3. Not only did they win it, they won it 15-3. They're down to the Giants last week. They come back, win the series. They were actually down 3-1 in this NLCS last year to the same Braves team. They came back and won 3 straight after that 15-3 win. So Dodgers are the best team in baseball. They have been for several years. They turn it on when they need to. And lo and behold, we got Walker Buehler in the mound, who's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So after this game this afternoon, we might say, hey, $1.75 wasn't cheap enough. So I like the LA Dodgers to get back into this series today on Tuesday. And once again, it is $9 Tuesday. It's $9 all week for NBA best bets at WagerTalk.com. I've got my first official best bet this season going tonight, WagerTalk.com. Dave's got a loaded card as well. Recapping the best bets, Dave, we cut Drew Martin off because he disagreed with the Braves, but he did like the Braves here. Of course, Drew is a big underdog player, and he's taking the value there. I'm looking at the Dodgers. So we agree to disagree on that one. And then, of course, Dave Cokin has the over 10 in the Red Sox-Astros game tonight on Tuesday. Hey, Dave, great to see you, my man. Thanks for filling in with me as Drew had some technical difficulties. And on the way out, once again, let us know what you've got tonight at WagerTalk.com. I've got that strong NBA best bet for $9. And what do you have going once again?
A bunch of college football up for the weekend already. Starts with a Thursday night game on San Jose State and UNLV. I put a play up on that. Then 4 Saturday games. It's going to be a busy week for me in college football, and I had a good week in college football. I did not have a good week in the NFL. We'll try and rectify that situation coming up on Sunday. And got a hockey game up tonight. I've only made 2 plays so far, 1-1. Tonight is play number 3. We'll see what happens with that. I'll watch your stuff in the NBA. I don't do the National Basketball Association. I'll wait for some college basketball. I think that's it. We're done.
Yeah, and Dave, I think you're going to be on Wager Talk today, Thursday, and I'm guest hosting, so I look forward to seeing you then. I'll be I'll be doing my appearance tomorrow, Wednesday, and then guest hosting Thursday with Dave Cokin. Will be on, of course, with me, Teddy Covers. Wager Talk today, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here live, and of course, every show replayed 24/7 here on Wager Talk TV. Thanks once again, Dave. Thank you to Drew Martin. Had some technical difficulties. Robert back in the studio. Most importantly, subscribe to WagerTalk TV. Hit the bell. You'll get alerted when all these shows are on live. Give us a thumbs up. And most important, comment below. Let us know who you like tonight in Major League Baseball. Like, subscribe, comment below. Check back every day right here on WagerTalk TV. Best of luck tonight.
Thousands of you enjoyed the NHL opening week $9 special, so it's only fair that we offer the NBA fans the same deal. Every NBA daily package for the opening week through Monday, October 25th is just $9. That's right, you will not be paying $25 for a package, nor will you be paying $35 for 5% best bets for the opening week of the NBA, as all daily basketball packages are only $9. Make sure to tune in every Monday through Friday for the NBA tip-off show on WagerTalk TV, and then save and start the NBA season with a slam dunk deal.